Hey everybody, welcome to class 2 of How to Afford Everything. Hopefully you can hear me okay. I am coming to you live from the airport, from one of those private working rooms in the airport, because I just came back from teaching a live class at Harvard last night and had to grade papers for my real class at Michigan State this morning. So here we are. Finally, it's still Friday, so I guess we haven't quite missed class yet. Okay, so this week, I want to make sure we get to the lessons. So, one of the things that frequently comes up when we talk about spending, right? So we're talking about spending. Last week we were all about mindset and how to just approach this whole budgeting thing, since budget is not a bad word. This week we're going to actually get in your business a little bit about spending, because this is one of the areas when it comes to the two things you can do to fix your money. You can either reduce what you're spending or increase what you have coming in as income, or in some cases you can do both at the same time. So we're going to talk about spending. So when it comes to spending, the question is, when you're out and you're using your debit, maybe you do, maybe you don't. So just in case you're in the second category of people, I want to give you a few, let's call them rules to live by. So if you have the textbook, let me get to the right page. We have a few spending commandments. The spending commandments start on page 20. And let me remind you what a spending commitment is in case you haven't done the reading for this week yet. So in the world of personal finance, there are time-tested principles that guide us toward financial wisdom and stability. Let's delve into what I like to call these as the spending commandments. Now look, these haven't been chiseled in anybody's tablet, but following these guidelines, giving yourself these rules, so to speak, can really help you hold immense power in shaping your financial destiny. So let's see if you can follow these for the next few weeks to see if they help to tighten up your financial situation. So the first is know thy budget. It's so important that you know your budget, because first of all, budget is not a bad word. You know, if you've had a bad experience with the budget before, go back to lesson 1 from last week. It's probably because you built an aspirational budget that didn't actually include or reflect how you need to live your life to have a fairly smooth week or month. So go back to lesson 1 so you can make those adjustments, and remember that your budget, you've built it to really reflect how you need to live your life. It isn't a restriction, but it's truly a roadmap for your financial success. So when you understand, when you know your numbers, when you know what your income is and your got to tighten up. Or I realized I've been starving the travel fund, and I know somebody's going to want to go on a trip once the weather breaks. And so let me start putting some money into the travel fund so that I'm not caught off guard when someone invites me to go on a little weekend getaway. All right, hopefully you're feeling good, because now we're going on to spending commandment number 2. Honor thy financial goals, right? Like when you went through the process of making a budget, when you picked up this book or subscribed to this class or registered so that you would get the alerts, there was something that you were wanting to accomplish, right? So if you can keep your goals top of mind, stay committed to your long-term objectives, and that could be as big as buying a home, building your emergency fund, or it could be as small as being able to put those bills onto auto pay without it being a problem. Okay, so staying committed to your financial goals. Will it take me off track? Will it get me closer? Will it get me further away? And by doing that very quick check, it might help you to decide when, whether, and how that money gets. They call it a store because they will store the items there until you're ready to come get them. So if you are in the store, if you've got that cart, and you're not exactly sure you have the money or you really need the item right away, pause, take a step back, think about whether you need it. And if you're not sure, because maybe you already have the item, maybe you have an item that is similar enough that even if you don't have it, you could use the similar item as a replacement. Maybe you just don't need it right now. You can put it off for a few weeks or a few months. Then that helps you to stop doing the spontaneous buying. And one of the easy ways to train yourself to do this is give yourself a 24-hour rule. So I love building up a cart in some of my favorite clothing stores. And if I'm not sure I'm ready to spend the money, I go ahead and abandon the cart. And don't you know, the stores have gotten so good that they will now email you and say, hey, you forgot about all these awesome items in your cart. Because we really want you to buy them, here's a special coupon code for free shipping or 10% off. And so sometimes leaving things and abandoning the cart, either physically in the store by saying, I'm going to leave it here for today, at your cash register. Oh, I'm sorry, I changed my mind. Can you put this back for me? Or in the internet world by just like closing the browser or going to a different app on your phone, you might actually be rewarded by that because the item could go on sale in the 24 hours you wait, or that 24 hours gives you a chance to check, oh, I already have 3 shirts just like that. I don't need another shirt in that same color, so that you avoid the expense. Cool? Great. We're on to number 4. We're almost halfway through, y'all. So worry about yourself. For real though. Like really focus on you. Because in a world of social media, first of all, you don't know what it takes people to get where they have gotten. You don't know what they do on the nights and weekends. You are getting little slices of their life and getting to peek into them on social media. And even that, just because they posted on social media doesn't mean you got the full story, because the algorithm will also show you the things that it thinks you will like the most and spend the most time on, right? And so what that means is, do not compare yourself to others, right? Like, it's great, especially if you have relationships with someone, that you're able to ask them, hey, what's happening? How did you do that? How did you accomplish that? Sure, use it as inspiration, use it as a source of information, but don't compare yourself underneath or behind what they're choosing to show you on this little screen. Okay. Number 5. Keep a spending Sabbath. Let me break this one down. So every once in a while, and because we've just started a new year, some people did this. They said, oh, I'm going to do no spend January. I'm going to do no spend weekend. This is where you take a moment. It could be a few days. It could be a weekend. It could be a month, where you pause and reflect on your own financial choices. And what doing this means is you basically say, okay, for the next week and a half, maybe the next 7 or 10 days, we are going to do a pantry clean out. So instead of going out to dinner, instead of ordering food, we're going to see how long we can live on the food we actually have in the freezer, in the fridge, in the pantry. And it might force a little bit of creativity, but you might find out, oh, well, it's time for us to clear some of that out anyway, right? And so that may save you on your grocery bill that week or that month. The other thing is, if you are on a spending Sabbath and the thing you are, like most people in the age group that I talk to, the biggest part of your budget that kind of leaks is entertainment. So meaning going out to eat or ordering for delivery is maybe instead of going out to dinner with your friends, you invite them over, right? So still the same thing. You get to be with your friends. You still get a meal. You've done it in a way that has a lower cost. So keep it is it's February. So we'll look that after Valentine's Day, you pick a few days that you're, okay, I'm going on a 3-day. I'm not spending any money. Can I do it? Report back in the comments. Okay, we made it to number 6. Number 6 is Alive. This class out toward everything 101, and this week we are talking about you got money for rent. So we're diving into spending. These are, and we're going over the spending commandments that are on page 20 of this is the course folder. Go to darlabishop.com/101 and you can get access to the course folder. All right, number 6. Do not ignore value. Sometimes when we are out shopping, we might shop for the cheapest thing. Can I tell you how my parents taught me how to shop? They always taught me that when you're looking for, and let's use like a household appliance, for example. If you need to get a new iron, you need to get a new blender, you never buy the cheapest item, because the cheapest item might be, let's say, $10, but then the next one above that might be $25, and that feels like a big jump, especially if the cheapest item was $10. However, the quality of that product will far outlast the $10 version. So when you are making purchases, consider the quality. A slightly higher dollar amount might get you a product or service that is just a better fit or better meet your needs. So do not ignore value. How y'all doing in the comments? Oh, y'all are doing great. Okay, way to go. Needing to see what's left over so that you can put it in a savings account. So you might have heard someone say, pay yourself first, but maybe no one's ever broken that down for you. What that means is you decide before you even get your paycheck, maybe even when you start the job and you're filling out the paperwork for your direct deposit, how much money am I going to save out of every paycheck? And you decide that off rip. And it could be as small as $5 per paycheck, $10 per paycheck, because here, especially if you're starting out or starting over, we're not after big dollars amount. We're after establishing the habit of saving and of doing so first. So what that means is you're going to allocate a portion of your income. So every time you get paid, every time you get money in from a side gig or as a gift, you've called the bank over a $1.92 fee. Yes, you will not steal a $1.92 from me. I worked hard for that $1.92. It doesn't matter how long it took me to earn the $1.92. You as the bank are not going to take it as a fee. So whenever you see a fee on any of your accounts, always call. And you might have to call twice. We in the financial space, we actually have a a acronym for this: hang up, call again, hookah. Always call and be kind, right? Say, hey, I noticed this fee on my account. Can you help me understand how I got the fee? Is there anything I can do to reverse the fee? Is there anything I can do to avoid the fee in the future? And if you're super kind, in most cases, you will get some sort of credit or reversal. And if the first person says no, say, well, thank you so much for everything you did. Okay, I understand you can't do anything. Hang up. Call again, because maybe the next person who is just reading the rules on a screen as they're going through the conversation with you might find a way to reverse the fee or give you a credit against the fee. And then whatever they tell you to do to avoid the fee in the future, take action so that you can avoid the fee in the future. Because if you're already working really hard to right the ship when it comes to your money, those little fees are just, if it's 120, take the time and call. Call 3 times if you have to try to get it reversed, to make sure you understand why you got the fee and how to avoid the fee. All right, so that was number 8. Thou shalt not waste money on fees. Congratulations. Only 2 more to go. So next, seek wise counsel, right? If you have been on this journey with me or anyone else for a little while, and you're unsure how to do the next thing when it comes to your money, whether that's how to manage your taxes, whether that is actually opening your own retirement account or investment account, look for experts or trusted individuals who can provide guidance. And this doesn't always have to be like a suited person in a bank, right? You might have friends who are really good at this, or solve this problem for themselves, and they can share their journey with you, give you ideas and it might help you solve the problem. You might have a family member who's just like a little bit further ahead than you and say, hey, how did you do that thing with your credit cards? I noticed that you say you use points a lot. Like, how do you do that? Do I have the right credit card for that? Is that something I should do or could do, right? Okay. And it could also be a professional, and you can get access to professionals for free or low cost. If you have a bank account with a bank or a credit union, they oftentimes have not only online learning modules for you, but you can go in and talk with a banker and say, hey, I am really trying to improve my financial situation, and I've been a customer at this bank for a while. Do you learn more about money? You get a bunch of information, and you get access to better accounts, maybe with higher interest or lower fees overall. So seek wise counsel as you're doing this, especially if it's new, right? You don't know what you're doing, so ask people who are a little further ahead so that you can benefit from their information. Okay, number 10. We've gotten to number 10. Are you excited? We've gotten to number 10. This one is so important. That's why I put it as the last, right? Thou shalt review your finances regularly. Because in week 1, we talked about the importance of setting your magic number and building a budget that actually reflects your life. But your life is not static. Your life could change this week. It could change next month. It could change 6 months from now. And so if you are in the habit of doing regular financial check-ins, they help you do a few things. They help you track your progress. They help you identify any areas of improvement or adjustment. And it helps you make sure you're staying in line with your financial goals. If you notice a pattern in the way that you've been spending or using your money, because you check it regularly, then you can make the appropriate adjustments. Okay? I'm super excited for you to figure out if you got money for that. Okay, let's talk about this week's homework. Hold on, I gotta pull my notes up. So, this week's homework, here it is, almost there. Okay, so because this week is all about spending, I am challenging you to a 3-day, just 3 days for the next 3 days. So today's Friday. So starting tomorrow on Saturday, plus Sunday, plus Monday, or if you happen to be watching this video on a different day, whatever the 3 days are, you are to track your spending. And you can do this a few ways. If you already have a notes app in your phone, you can just keep notes in your phone. Or if you are pen and paper, like I suggest when you're starting out, you can grab the 3-day money tracker from the course materials. If you don't know how to access the course materials, go to darlabishop.com/101 and you can pick up the course materials. And so I would love to see what you learned through the process of tracking your spending for 3 days. And remember your spending commandments to see if it makes a difference in how you spend. I hope you enjoyed class 2 of How to Afford Everything 101. Next week, we are going to other people's money. We're going to be talking about debt, interest rates, good debt, bad debt, how to spend it, how to not spend it, how to pay it down. And so I'm super excited to talk about debt next week and other people's money. If you like this class or you have more questions, you can put them in the comments. This is the live version. I will put a recording up because I know how to do that now. I learned. So I'll put that up shortly. Thanks for attending, and we'll see you soon.